Welcome back to Ancient Signals, that flickering, liminal space between what we know and what we aren't supposed to. The three of them were in motion again, dodging surveillance and burner phones, haunted by the knowledge that the Black Knight satellite, the supposed 13,000-year-old alien probe, was currently being used as the ultimate spy satellite by Control. They had decoded the ancient message relaying the FRB prime sequence, but to broadcast it, they needed undeniable proof that the Black Knight wasn't just mirroring old alien data. It needed to be linked to a modern, physical reply here on Earth. Aris drove, Elena held the laptop displaying the Black Knight's orbital decay rates, and Ben monitored the digital noise for the telltale algorithmic signature of Control's automated sweeps. Aris knew where to look next, the most infamous, most ridiculed piece of evidence in the fringe community, the 2001 Chilbolton Crop Circle. Imagine the hubris of the Arecibo Message. Back in 1974, humanity fired a coded binary transmission, a digital greeting card detailing our DNA, our solar system, and the Arecibo telescope itself, toward the star cluster M13. It was a mainstream historical fact, one of the most powerful broadcasts ever sent, a one-way shout into the galactic void. The earliest possible time for a reply, about 50,000 years. Yet, just 27 years later, in a field next to the Chilbolton radio telescope in the UK, two incredibly complex crop formations appeared within days of each other. One was a binary message, and the other, a stylized portrait of a figure with a large head and small body. The binary formation, a quirky tidbit Aris had always saved for a desperate time, contained a grid of 73 rows and 10 columns, a shape immediately recognizable as the same size and layout as the original 1679-bit Arecibo message. But the content was changed. The DNA helix had an extra strand, the solar system showed a shift in population emphasis, and the transmitter was a different shape. It was an unmistakable, deliberate reply. "It's a physical response," Aris said, pointing to the screen. "The original wow." Signal pointed us to M13. The Black Knight confirmed the FRB prime sequence. Now, the Chilbolton Crop Circle is the physical manifestation of the Arecibo reply, planted directly on Earth. Elena, for the first time, didn't argue the origin. The scientific impossibility of the formation's complexity, coupled with the binary data's identical structure to the Arecibo original, was too compelling. "If it's a reply," she murmured, "it's not just a field drawing. It's a key. We need to analyze the specific changes they made to the binary code." She focused on the differences in the number systems for the population figures and the key element atomic numbers. Aris pulled over at a roadside diner, the fluorescent lights buzzing overhead, a sharp contrast to the dark, chaotic narrative they were living. While Aris grabbed coffee, Ben began running the Chilbolton Crop Circle's binary pattern against all the publicly dismissed data packets Control had tried to corrupt in the FRB logs. He theorized that the Crop Circle binary was designed to act as a digital filter or a descrambler, meant to be run over the corrupted FRB files. Ben, sweat dripping onto the keyboard, noticed a single small pattern in the Crop Circle binary, a sequence of 4 bytes, that corresponded to a signature previously logged as unexplained noise in the suppressed FRB data. This noise wasn't static. It was a header code. Aris realized the truth. The binary message in the field wasn't just a response to Arecibo. It was a password left by the same extraterrestrial intelligence, a key to unlock the last layer of the repeating FRB message that even the Black Knight couldn't entirely clarify. Aris rushed back, the coffee almost spilling. "The crop circle is the key," he said. "It unlocks the final layer of the FRB sequence, the layer Control thought they successfulally suppressed." He knew that historians still argue whether the crop circle phenomenon is purely human artistry or a form of complex geolocalized communication. For Aris, the debate was over. The physical evidence was leading them back to the cosmic signal. The Chilbolton Crop Circle was a meticulously engineered cryptographic key placed physically on the ground to counter the digital censorship of control. Ben used the 4-byte header code they isolated from the crop circle's binary to slice through the layers of noise and corruption that had been injected into the repeating FRB logs. What they found wasn't just a simple continuation of the prime sequence. It was the full, continuous, unedited FRB transmission hidden in the public logs under a classification of background radiation. This complete signal, once fully rendered, looked nothing like the original bursts. It was a vast, complex digital blueprint detailing a massive engineering project involving galactic restructuring. The message was not merely a greeting or a warning, it was a set of instructions. The extraterrestrial civilization was not just communicating their existence, they were asking for help or perhaps instructing a nascent civilization on how to prepare for an incoming galactic event. Elena, despite the staggering scientific implications, focused on the human element. If the crop circle appeared in 2001, and it's a key to the FRB signal, she reasoned, it means the intelligence behind the communication knows exactly when and how to bypass human censorship. They knew control would suppress the full FRB data stream, so they left a physical key where no government agency would take it seriously. A field in the UK. The message was a perfect feedback loop. The wow signal was the handshake. The FRBS were the ongoing data stream. The Black Knight was the automated repeater, and the crop circle was the key to unlocking the suppressed data. The entire phenomenon was a calculated, multi-layered attempt to ensure the message reached the right hands, specifically those willing to look beyond the official narrative. Ben traced the full FRB signal's origin once more, combining the M13 coordinates from the WOW signal with the directional data from the Black Knight. The combined data pointed not just to a distant galaxy, but to a specific point behind the globular cluster, M13. A location that, due to gravitational lensing, perfectly aligned with the source of the strongest FRB bursts. The intelligence was deliberately using the M13 marker from the Arecibo Message as a misleading return address, a final layer of security. But the complexity of the full message was overwhelming. They needed a massive, dedicated supercomputer to process the final blueprint and turn the abstract data into actionable, real-world instructions. Aris knew instantly where they had to go. Back to the source of his initial dismissal, the very heart of the establishment that had rejected him. He had to go to the Arecibo Observatory itself. He looked at Elena, his face grim. The message is too big. We need a dish bigger than anything we have. A place with the raw processing power to finish the decode. We have the Arecibo reply. Now we have to go to Arecibo to read the last chapter. He pulled the laptop to his chest, the entire fate of the message, the full instructions, resting on the hard drive. They knew going to a major well-known facility would be a trap, but it was the only way to save the data. Control would be waiting. We have moved past simple belief and into the realm of actionable truth. The whispers in the field were not pranks, they were passwords. The noise in the data was not static, it was a suppressed instruction manual. Aris and his team have assembled every piece of the ancient signals puzzle. The echo, the rhythm, the sentinel, and now, the key. They possess the full unedited message, a final, complete blueprint from the cosmos that tells us exactly what the aliens want us to know. This isn't about little green men or flying saucers. It's about a massive technological undertaking that requires global cooperation and a monumental effort. The message is finally open, but the final, terrifying irony is that to read it, they must walk straight into the center of the conspiracy, back to the massive dish that started it all. The stage is set for the climax, where the full weight of the echo chamber will fall, one way or another. If you want to keep deciphering these ancient signals, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell.